Look around you and look at the life you currently have. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Hi, my name is Harjot Singh, and I am so happy and eager to have you here on today's episode. Thank you for clicking on this video, and let's just dive right into it. So, today's title is You Are the Lowest Standard. You are your lowest standard. And what does that mean, right? What does that even mean? I don't know who said this, but someone did say this, and they said, you don't rise up to your expectations, you fall to your lowest standards. And so, if you want to achieve something, you want to achieve some goal you have, whatever that goal might be, it's not a matter of upping the bar, it's not a matter of increasing the bar, it's a matter of increasing your lowest standard. Lowest standard. And let's take push-ups as an example. Let's take fitness as an example and use push-ups. Instead of saying, hey, I want to do 1,000 push-ups in one go. That's crazy, right? What if you started looking at things and saying, I can do at least 100 minimum. And so that becomes a standard. And then you start going to, you know what, I can do at least 110 minimum. I can do at least 150 minimum. I can do at least 200 minimum. 1,000 is still a lot. Don't get me wrong, it's crazy. Even I can't imagine it. I can't. That's crazy. Like, oh man, I can feel the burn in my muscles already. But my point being, like, if my goal is 1,000, right? Crazy goal, right? And oftentimes you want to have these crazy goals. Why don't you just say, I am going to do 20 at the minimum? What that does is that sets your lowest standard. Like, that's your minimum standard. And so if you keep raising the bar for the minimum standard that you have for yourself, eventually you're going to get to a point where you're just built up, you're trained up to that place that you want to be. And so you're not rising up to the point of 1,000 push-ups. You're building your lowest point to 1,000 push-ups, where it becomes that you're not trying to achieve 1,000. Instead, 1,000 is what you naturally just do. That's just what you do naturally. And that's what this video is all about. It's raising your lowest standard, because whatever you have in your life right now, it's just a byproduct of your lowest standard. Literally, that's all it is. It's just your lowest standard. And to level up, you're not trying to go and beat the hardest bosses. All you're saying is, whatever boss I'm doing right now, I'm making that boss easier and easier and easier for me, because I just understand the game. I know the game. I can kill this boss. I understand his maneuvers and his, what do you call that? His skills and his tricks, whatever you call. In video games, bosses have their own maneuvers and tricks and stuff that you have to, mechanics, right? It's mechanic, whatever mechanic it is, whatever that is, you want to just raise your lowest standard. Make that boss easier and easier to fight, because you understand the mechanic more and you can just maneuver around that mechanic of that boss. And so that's how you really achieve your goals, is by raising your lowest standard. And another way you can do that is by joining the community, link in the description. There's a 30-day free trial going on right now. Hop on the onboarding call as well. You're going to get the whole shebang. Everything's going to be there for you. It's just amazing. That's how you're going to raise your standard, by joining the community, by being around people who are doing the same thing. We all have huge ambitious goals, but what we are focused on is raising our lowest standard. So if your current standard is making money is through a job, you have to work a job, you have to find a job to make money. That's your current lowest standard. That's how you know how to make money. Then, and you want to change that up, you want to switch it up. Instead of saying, I'm going to start a business that's going to make me XYZ amount of money, you just say, you know what, let me just change my lowest standard and just start focusing on making $10 from my side hustle or something, or figuring out other ways of making money. And then that becomes your lowest standard. Now your lowest standard is, how do I make money? Oh, I have to work a job. You switch it up, you train yourself, build a new lower standard, you raise your bar a little bit, and you say, now my lowest standard is making money from the 9 to 5 or the job, the shifts, and also making money from doing maybe some trading, doing some sales, doing some marketing, doing some development work, anything, whatever your passions and hobbies and interests are, anything, figuring out how you can take your passions and what you love and turn that into money. That becomes your lowest standard. And then when that becomes your lowest standard, and now you're like, oh, my lowest standard is I can make some money by doing whatever I love. And now you want to make 10Ks. Then you're training yourself to make 10K the lowest standard. It's not something you're trying to achieve every single month. Instead, you're changing yourself into becoming that person that just 10K is what you do. That's your lowest standard. That's just hygiene for you. And when you do that, dude, when you start operating like that, when you start thinking about that, life like that, everything just falls into place because you are not focused on achieving some far-fetched goal. Instead, you are focused on increasing your current lowest standard. Link in the description, by the way. Join the community because that is the fastest way I know how to help you increase your lowest standard. And you can increase your lowest standard just by being around other people that are also increasing your lowest standards, their lowest standards, and also people that are already at higher standards. And it's just diffusion, man. When you hang out with people that have high standards, your standards are naturally going to rise to their levels as well because you're part of the game, you're part of the tribe, you're part of the club, you're part of that community. And if you're part of that community who has high standards for themselves, don't you naturally have high standards for yourself too? Because you're there. That means just by association, you also are associated with a high standard for yourself. And the only way you do that is by raising the bar for yourself. Don't think of the far-fetched big goal. Instead, think of that small step, the lowest standard that you currently have, and raise the bar just a little bit. Raise it just a little bit and you'll be perfectly fine. You'll be so good in life. It's not even a joke. All right? That's the end of today's video. I'm so happy that you watched through to the end, and I'm so grateful for your time and attention. I will see you on the next one. See ya. Bye.